Trump appears increasingly rattled as Gulf allies show signs they are no longer willing to automatically fall in line behind Washington's regional posture. As debate grows in the UAE over the future of US bases, the pressure on Trump is rising amid suggestions that American military facilities are becoming more of a burden than a shield. That pressure intensified after an Emirati academic declared that the UAE no longer needs America, a remark that has fueled a wider debate over strategic autonomy in the Gulf. At the same time, the US appears to be trying to reassure and retain Arab partners by reinforcing its military footprint in the region. Trump is also feeling financial heat as reports suggest the UAE has floated the possibility of using the Chinese yuan in some oil transactions. The US is reportedly increasing its military presence at Dhafra Air Base in the UAE as tensions with Iran remain elevated and diplomacy stays uncertain. There appears to be a heavier deployment pattern involving fighter aircraft, transport jets and aerial refueling tankers across the regional US posture, with Dhafra remaining a key hub in the Gulf. Clash reports said on April 25, citing EGYOSINT, that the buildup at Dhafra was rising, adding to wider reporting about fresh US force movements in the region. Clash reports said, and I quote, "The US appears to be increasing its military presence at Dhafra Air Base, UAE. About 12 F-18 fighter jets have been deployed, alongside at least 7 aerial refueling tankers and AC-17 cargo aircraft." Unquote. The disclosure came amid uncertainty over the peace talks and after Iran's recent naval seizures further sharpened the maritime standoff in and around the Strait of Hormuz. The conflict involving the United States and Israel against Iran may have had unintended consequences for American interests in the Gulf region. A prominent academic from the United Arab Emirates has raised concerns regarding the continued presence of US military forces in the area. These observations were shared by UAE scholar Abdulkhalik Abdullah during an interview with Reuters. He suggested that American military installations in the UAE are increasingly being viewed as a liability rather than a strategic advantage. The academic also argued that it may be time to consider closing US bases operating within the region. According to Abdullah, recent events have demonstrated that the UAE is capable of ensuring its own defense without external military support. It is notable that the UAE currently hosts approximately 3,500 US personnel, including operations at Dhafra Air Base. The Abu Dhabi scholar said, and I quote, "The UAE no longer needs America to defend it, as it has proven during the Iranian aggression that it is capable of defending itself with distinction. What the UAE needs is to acquire only the best and latest weapons that America has. Therefore, it is time to think about closing the American bases, as they are a burden and not a strategic asset." End quote. During the recent conflict involving Iran, the United States, and Israel, Gulf nations experienced significant retaliatory actions. The UAE was reportedly targeted by a large number of drones and missile strikes over the course of the conflict. Estimates suggest that Iran deployed hundreds of ballistic missiles, drones, and cruise missiles toward the UAE. These developments have contributed to notable economic disruption within United Arab Emirates. Reports indicate that market capitalization losses in Dubai and Abu Dhabi have exceeded $120 billion. The aviation sector has also been affected, with more than 18,000 flights reportedly cancelled. In addition, Dubai's real estate market has experienced a decline, with indices falling significantly in recent months. Infrastructure damage has also been reported at key locations, including major landmarks and transport hubs. In the days before the America-Iran ceasefire is scheduled to end, one of Trump's closest Arab allies moved to seek firm financial security guarantees from Washington. According to reports, the UAE has been discussing ways to secure a financial backstop from the United States to help shield its economy from further turbulence. These developments were reported by the Wall Street Journal, which cited high-level meetings between Emirati and American officials as the source. During those talks, Emirati officials raised the idea of establishing a currency swap line with the United States as part of a broader protection plan. If approved, Such a facility would allow the UAE central bank to access US dollars in moments of extreme market stress, when funding can suddenly dry up. With this mechanism in place, the UAE could support its own currency or bolster its foreign reserves using US dollars drawn from the swap line. The Wall Street Journal says the UAE is seeking this kind of security in case the war with Iran deepens financial stress on Abu Dhabi's economy. At the same time, officials have stressed that these discussions are still preliminary and that no formal swap line request has been submitted yet. Securing a swap line backed by the US Federal Reserve could be challenging, given how carefully Washington guards such privileges. Historically, the Fed has reserved these kinds of arrangements for economies that share deep financial links and robust institutional ties with the United States. In moments of global stress, Washington has occasionally extended temporary swap facilities to a broader circle of countries to cushion systemic shocks. According to the report, the UAE might not automatically qualify for such a swap line facility under current criteria. As an alternative, the United States could choose to deploy its Exchange Stabilization Fund, a powerful but less used financial tool. The ESF can provide loans, guarantees, or other support to partner economies, giving them breathing room during periods of heavy stress. So far, the UAE has avoided a full-blown economic fallout from the Iran war, thanks to strong buffers and careful management. Prolonged disruptions, especially in choke points like the Strait of Hormuz, could dent dollar revenues and put pressure on foreign exchange reserves. Emirati officials have also hinted at switching to alternative currencies, according to the Wall Street Journal's account of the talks. If access to US dollars becomes constrained or too politically costly, the country may feel forced to switch part of its trade into other currencies. In that scenario, the UAE could begin conducting some of its oil trade and other major transactions in Chinese yuan as well. Even a partial shift would chip away at the US dollar's dominance in global oil markets, at least temporarily. This move would also dovetail neatly with China's broader push to internationalize the yuan and expand its role in global finance.